Good evening, everyone. My name is Haeyu Kim, and today's topic is how hosting a discussion club has changed me. For those of you who don't know, I host a club called Songdo English Discussion Club through a mobile application called 소모임.
Wow.
And I've been running this group for a year. And every weekend, I prepare questions, 5 questions in exact, for a certain topic. And we answer the questions one by one and exchange our opinions. If you see on the right side, there are approximately 127 members right now. Now, before I go on to explain how this club has changed me, I want to briefly introduce about our club. These are actually the pictures and the questions that I prepare every weekend. And if you see the first picture, there's a golden retriever on a very luxurious house. I chose a topic of a dream house, and we talked about what kind of house do you want to live in. And if you see the second picture, I also talked about cell phones. I think cell phone is such an essential item that we sometimes take it for granted. But if we get to look back at the history of cell phones, I think it will be so interesting. So I prepared questions like that. And if you see on the right side, it was Mother's and Father's Day back then. So I asked people, what is your paradigm of an ideal family? If you would draw a picture of an ideal family, what would you draw in? I prepared questions like that. And I also like to talk about entertainment and social issues. So when the Street Woman Fighter, the popular dancing competition show was everywhere, I talked about what competition means to you. And I asked people how it impacts your life. And when Yoon Yo-jung got the Oscar awards, I also talked about Hallyu and Korean Wave. And most recently, I talked about mental health, and I asked people what their imperfections and things that they like about themselves. And if you see on the right side, I also talked about how do you perceive yourself through these questions. So as you can see, I get to learn a lot of English. So I would like to tell you 3 things that changed me through this club. The first thing is that my English proficiency has improved a lot. When I have to prepare these questions, I always meticulously choose the right word and the right expression. And I get to practice the English words and expressions that I learned from textbook. So my English level has elevated a lot. And not only academically, it helped me. The second point is that I get to understand a lot of people. Actually, I want to say that I get to empathize more with people emotionally. These are the pictures that I took with the members. We don't drink all the time, but there are a lot of pictures drinking. But we have a lot of meal. We go to the park. It's so good to have friends in Songdo and to know them better. There are people who work in the IT industry, and there are some people who is a food blogger, and there's someone who is like a CEO of a company. Meeting people from all different walks of life, I realized that there's so many things to learn from people. For example, if there's like a issue, we all see the issue in different point of view. So this expanded my horizon. So the second point was about people. And I just want to also share a picture where I did Zoom with other people at night. We just talked and they told me what they're doing, and it was so fun. And just meeting these people helps me to be a better person. And lastly, The third point is that I get to love myself more through this club. It's because people compliment me a lot on my leadership and how I prepare the questions. They say the questions that I prepare are very deep and insightful. And they also sometimes say that I'm charismatic, which I don't really agree with. But um, I always felt that I'm not really good at anything. But leading this group and hosting this group made me feel that I'm good at something. And I'm actually able to lead people and influence people in a good way. So this is a poster of a movie called I Feel Pretty. So I just feel valuable and worthy. So I think the hosting this club has changed me in three ways. Firstly, academically, my English has improved. Second, I get to expand my horizon and meet new people. And thirdly, I get to love myself and appreciate myself even more. So thank you for listening.